I've always wanted to learn a low-level language like C++, but one thing has always stopped me in my tracks. Actually, a lot of things. Dependencies, linkers, header files, and memory leaks. Oh, don't worry, we'll be seeing a lot more of ChatGPT later on. I wanted to start with a simple Hello World program. The simplest, easiest, smallest program in existence. Except for in C++, of course. So why are we doing bitwise operations to print something to the console? Still in shock, I watched the first 17 hours of this puppy in between classes at school.
And it is going to return whichever number is the maximum.
Using this knowledge, I made some tiny command line projects by myself. Of course, I'm wanting to do something with graphics, so I decided I would use SDL. The problem is that I have no idea how to set that up. Don't worry, we'll find out. I found this tutorial that showed me how to download SDL. Unfortunately, the website changed from when the video was made, but luckily there was this link right here. Oh, that's a lot of choices. Let's go with this one. Then I watched a video on CMake, which for some reason I thought I should know, but I gave up after doing a little bit of research. I also went back and installed another version of SDL for some reason. Then I poked around in the project settings, but I did not know what I was doing, so I went back and watched some Polymars and GoodGIS videos on their C++ adventures, and that helped to inspire me. It was about time I got started. I asked ChatGPT many questions, but most importantly, how to set up SDL with Visual Studio, which you can see me doing here. This was far from smooth sailing though. I ran into many issues. First, I didn't have any autocomplete. Visual Studio obviously wasn't recognizing the file correctly. Turns out I'm pretty sure I downloaded the wrong file. Well, now I finally have autocomplete, and I'm copying an example from ChatGPT, which of course it didn't work. So I asked for guidance, and basically I needed to add the dependencies to the linker. A pretty simple fix. It should work now. This time I had to put a DLL file in the project directory, but I had the wrong DLL file. And now I had a different error. Long story short, I had the wrong library directory. I fixed that up. And okay. I had the wrong file again. So I downloaded the right one, which actually had what I needed, and linked it back up. And it finally worked. I congratulated Mr. G and prepared myself to learn some SDL. I started by asking ChatGPT to give me some example code and asked a bunch of questions about how it worked. I tried a bunch of different window types and poked through the code. This part was fairly straightforward. I just gathered a bunch of information. Then I was ready for drawing images to the screen. Should be pretty easy, right? Let's see, should be as easy as just copying this code and GPT said I needed another file that I didn't have, so I tried to find it. But after searching for quite some time, I finally found it. I added the library directories and I just forgot to add it to the linker. Now finally, it still doesn't work. Apparently, I needed the DLL to be in the project directory. So I moved it there and yes! I asked how to make a texture move with WASD and copied the code down. It worked terribly. I thought it might be something with my code that calculated delta time, but I tested it and it was fine. I asked for some guidance and I was guided to the correct answer. Why didn't it just tell me this in the first place? I asked Mr. G what game I should make and he said Pong. I agreed and started drawing some balls and paddles. Now to make the paddles display correctly in the game. I did not anticipate this to be this big a problem, but it took a lot longer than I expected. I also asked this very relevant question. No, that's right, I need to rotate them. Yeah, I don't even know what I was doing here. Still. Added collision, worked out some movement issues, and made the paddles get smaller as they moved for some added challenge. There were just a bunch of small niche problems. Then I got this surprise error. After taking a long, hard look, I had named two files the same thing. How frustrating. At least it runs now. There were still a lot of issues, but I sorted them out in the end. This was the same deal as drawing an image to the screen. I copied the code, but this time it just wouldn't display. Almost half a year later, I return. ChatGPT got a little blacker, my taskbar expanded, but most importantly, my brain got larger. To get back into the fray, I decided to modularize my window creation code. As usual, it was a pain. Especially this error. I had absolutely no idea why it was underlining this semicolon. But I just named both of these window. What an idiot. Well, that fixed it. Even though this game is far from complete, I think that's where I'll leave it. My desire to learn C++ has diminished, but who knows? Maybe it will return. Regardless, I did manage to make a game of some sort, even through all the frustrations and issues along the way. If you made it this far in the video, perhaps you should use these buttons since you seem to enjoy it so much. This video actually took forever to make, so I would really appreciate it. Oh, and comment below if you think there's a memory leak. Other than that, thanks for watching.